Hey guys, it's Amber here. So I wanted to jump on and do an update video about where things are progressing and just kind of how I'm doing right now. So I'll include some footage from the genetic testing stuff, and then also just a little bit of a warning. I'm in a bit of a mood today, so if you're wanting some bright, shiny, optimistic, happy video, this probably isn't the one to watch, just FYI. So I just dropped off the package with the genetic testing swab kits at the FedEx office location. They are supposed to arrive at Cooper Genomics tomorrow, and I am excited because at that point the 6-week countdown to IVF will begin. So that's crazy. Yeah, I'll check in more with you guys on this later, but I'm excited because we are finally getting ready to start. As you saw in the video clip, we did send in the genetic testing, the swab kits to the genetic testing lab. When was that? That was the last couple of days of April that we sent that in. And then on May 3rd, I think it was, I had an email from our genetic counselor, Erica, saying that they received all the swab kits and they were starting the test creation process, and that it would be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks before that was completed, and they would notify me when that happened. When I talked to them about all of this stuff early in the process, they told me that since we had 2 specific genetic mutations that we were screening for, that it would probably take closer to the 6 to 8 week mark. So I'm anticipating 6 weeks, and that's just kind of where we're at with that as far as how that goes. First of all, let me just say, I'm sorry if this offends anybody. I'm sorry if anybody feels like this is me being negative or pessimistic, or if this is turning people off or whatever. I just want to apologize for that. However, one of the things I really value in life in general is being very authentic, very transparent, and I feel like this channel is only going to be helpful if I'm true to that on both the positive and negative sides, and not just one or the other. So let me share with y'all kind of where I'm at as far as life goes. I am the oldest person in my generation in my family. I'm 33, almost 34 years old. The vast majority of people in my generation that I'm kind of like, okay, so my next closest person age-wise in my generation of my family is my younger sister Ashley, who's 4 years younger than me, and then the majority of everybody's like 5, 6, 7 years younger than me. My other sister is 9 years younger than me. So I was kind of the babysitter for everybody in the family, you know, the cousins and stuff. When we would have family get-togethers, I was the one that was kind of in charge of occupying the kids or keeping an eye on the kids, and often had to babysit my sisters, babysit cousins for date nights or work or whatever. So let me tell you that here I am at 33, almost 34 years old, and everybody in my generation that at least the people that were kind of close in age, so the people that are like adults, everybody that wants to have kids has had kids by now. There's only one person that didn't want kids, and she has stepchildren, and so she's got kids, but yeah, it's kind of, you know, obviously a little bit different, but everybody else that wanted to have kids, they have kids now. And the last year found out my youngest cousin and her brother, that's a little bit older than her, found out both of them are having kids separately. Obviously, I don't live in Arkansas or Kentucky, but so they're both of them and their spouses or fiance, my youngest cousin, she's just engaged, that they're pregnant. and due now, I think it's this summer, they're due like July or something, or August maybe. I have no idea, because I have intentionally kind of avoided that side of my family, not because I'm angry at them for getting pregnant. I mean, my youngest cousin, I was a little irritated, like, I'm just gonna be honest, because she's not married, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? But whatever. It's their life. You do you. But it's just been necessary for me to protect myself by not being around people that are pregnant. Especially in my family, people that I'm not especially like super close to, where I feel like I need to be a part of the pregnancy. They're just my cousins, and they live kind of further away, so there's not that sense of obligation to be active in their pregnancy. So I've kind of distanced myself from them, just to keep myself from becoming really bitter and resentful about it. And I feel like, for the most part, I've done a pretty good job, just given how much of a challenge it has been. Today, this morning, so last night I was on the phone with my sister, Destiny, my youngest sister, for a very long time. And my mom tried to call me twice, which is odd, because my mom and I we talk, but it's not super frequent. Which we don't have like a difficult relationship or anything. It's just, I've never been like super close, I guess, as far as frequency with my parents. Once I kind of became an adult, I just did my own thing, and, you know, and we talk, and it's cordial, but it's just not like super intimate, I guess is the word I'm using, meaning to use. So it was like odd to me that she had called me 2 times, and I thought, well, maybe this is something that important, that she wants to ask me about. I know there are some events kind of coming up in our family, so I thought, well, maybe she's wanting to ask about one of these or something. So I called her, or she called me this morning, because she had already went to bed by the time I got off the phone with my sister. She tells me that my other cousin, a part of the family that it's like all the same generation, but because my mom's the oldest and my dad's the oldest, it's weird, because my mom's so much older than her siblings, and my dad, there's less of an age gap between him and his siblings, but so I consider them more in the same generation, my cousins from my dad's side, but the cousins from my mom's side of the family, I feel more like an aunt to them or something, because there's such a huge age difference. So my cousins on that side, like, I babysat them. I mean, a couple of my cousins, I feel like I had a major hand in raising. Like, I would go pick them up. I was already an adult and married, and I would go pick them up and take them for fun days, have them stay the night, you know, and just do fun stuff. Like, I was kind of like an aunt to them. And so I just found out this morning that one of those kids is now pregnant. She's 17. She'll be 18, I guess, in the fall. But she's not yet a senior in high school because of the way her birthday falls. So, when my mom told me that, I don't even think I had a reaction, because my thought was like, yeah, of course, go figure. Why wouldn't she be? Why wouldn't somebody else be pregnant? And so I just want to say that this is the shitty part of infertility, is I feel like a bench warmer sometimes. Like, you watch those kids play in little sporting teams, or if you were ever a part of a sport team, you know, there's the good kids, the really awesome all-star kids, and the, you know, like junior high softball team or whatever, and they play every game and they get all kinds of action because they're rock stars. They are nailing it. And then you have the kids that are like, okay, and they're the kind of backup team, basically. And then there's the kids that are the bench warmers, the kids that are on the team but wouldn't be your first choice and wouldn't even be your alternate. They're somebody that are really just there kind of as a placeholder. I mean, they don't play very often, and if they do, it's because somebody else got injured, and so they may get their time to shine for like 1 or 2 games, and then they're kind of back on the bench sort of thing. That's what infertility feels like. It feels like being in the C team. It feels like I'm the water boy, that I'm just sitting there. I'm at the games. I'm there every week. I'm busting my butt at practices. I'm doing all of this stuff, but I'm getting no game time. I'm getting no recognition. I'm getting no benefits or whatever. It's all work, all waiting, and nothing to show for. That's what infertility feels like. And so now we are coming up to Mother's Day, and I have this kind of thing about Mother's Day. I feel like this is a common experience amongst most of us women in the infertility community. Mother's Day is just hard in general. So it's hard, one, because I came from a less than ideal upbringing. So while my mom and I have a good relationship now, it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always the most warm, fuzzy relationship. So even that's a little bit difficult. You know, it just kind of adds a different dimension to Mother's Day. Then the whole fact of going through infertility and wanting more than anything to be a mom, and yet that's the one thing I cannot make happen for myself. No matter what I have tried, I can't make it happen. And that is so frustrating. I mean, this time of year is awful because every freaking where you go, there's Mother's Day stuff. It's like, mom this, mom that, mom, jewelry, flowers, keepsakes, furniture, I mean, clothing. Everywhere you go, it's all about Mother's Day. And I get it. Moms should be celebrated. They do a lot. They sacrifice a lot. And I'm not knocking that whatsoever. I'm just saying that somebody in my perspective, it is tough. The thing that is the most difficult about Mother's Day, and even before I was really walking through infertility, what was hard about Mother's Day even then was I'd go to church on Sunday and see all the moms with their kids and their families and just look and see how happy they were. And the churches that I was raised in, they would do cute little things to acknowledge the moms. They'd hand out like carnations or something like that. And I remember even then thinking, I wonder if that's ever going to be me. Like, wonder what it's going to feel like when they say, you know, have all the moms stand and I can actually stand. I wonder what that's going to feel like. And now that I'm walking through infertility, and I have been for a few years, I just don't even go to church on Mother's Day at all because it is like that. These churches always do something to acknowledge moms. They go above and beyond for moms. And even though they may try to make it inclusive, it doesn't feel inclusive. It feels so... It just feels like you're on the outside looking in, to be quite honest. And everybody's there with their kids, and everybody's dressed all cute, and they all go out to brunch. I don't know. I don't know if that's everybody else's observations or if that's just mine, but that's what I see. And it's so freaking hard when you're going through infertility to see that, because you just want it. You just want it so bad. And you can't necessarily make it happen. So that's what I'm kind of walking through right now, is just being really reclusive a little bit because of Mother's Day. Like, I serve at my church, and I didn't tell everybody why, because it doesn't need to be a huge thing about it. But just saying, like, hey, I'm not going to make it this week. I know I'm supposed to serve, but, like, ain't going to be there. And then... You know, it's just, yeah, I can't even really explain it extremely well. If you haven't walked through it, it's just tough. I think the thing about Mother's Day is that I know it's tough for a lot of people, and not just because of infertility. People who come from dysfunctional homes, Mother's Day is hard. People who have moms that have passed away, Mother's Day is hard. People who have kids who have passed away, Mother's Day is hard. It's it's so convoluted, and I think so many places don't give that the recognition that it deserves. And then there are also other even circumstances beyond that, like fathers that are raising their kids because the mom passed away, or mom is MIA somewhere and dad's doing double duty. Like, Mother's Day just, I don't know. I feel like there needs to come up with some kind of alternative for Mother's Day, like a Parents' Day maybe. Even that I think would be hard, but I mean, I don't know. It's just shitty, really. And I'm hoping and praying that this is the last year I have to go through Mother's Day without being a mom of some sort or another. But you just never know. And so, because I thought last year would be the one too. And then everything with the house took way longer than it was supposed to. But I'm sorry for this crazy long rant. And I know it's just kind of babbling. And I'm just going to end it here. But all I'm going to say is Happy Mother's Day to you. To every woman that is out there that has the capacity and heart to be a mom, whether you have kids or not. Whether you have fur babies, real babies, rainbow babies, angel babies, no babies, whatever. Happy Mother's Day. If you're a woman, Happy Mother's Day, because God created something in you that has the capacity to nurture somebody else or something else. And so regardless what that looks like, Happy Mother's Day to you. You deserve it. You're a rock star, and don't let anybody tell you what you deserve or don't deserve. Don't let the fact that you have kids or don't have kids define you. Don't let that be something that just destroys your sense of worth, because you still have value regardless. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Have a great day, guys. Sorry about the tangent. Thanks for bearing with me. And I really, much love to all of y'all and the new subscribers. Thanks for coming along. I hope everybody has a great May. I will check in with y'all here in a couple of weeks. Bye, guys.